Hello, everybody. Alexander Robertson here, Alex the SEO, owner of Smart Alex SEO and WholesalePropertyMarketing.com. Coming to you on a kind of a gloomy day. I'm pretty sure you can see it in the background going on up in here. Kind of a gloomy day here in good old Las Vegas. But it's still kind of warm. It's still pretty tolerable, which is pretty cool. It still allows you to take a decent stroll. It looks like it's pretty cold, but it's actually not that cold at all. So today, I wanted to come to you and talk to you about squeeze pages. Now, it's nothing new. It's something that's it's used often. I think a lot more people can use them, but the point is they're common. They're understood, especially in the wholesaling and the real estate investing game. People use them to build their sellers and buyers lists. Naturally, I consider them the bandit sign of online. But what I wanted to do was talk about how we can make our squeeze pages more efficient, more productive for us. And, I've done this by trial and error, and it's actually worked out pretty well for me. So I wanted to go ahead and share with you guys the things that I've actually done to build my lists, build them to the numbers that they are, which I'm actually pretty proud of. It's cool. And how I'm actually doing it and how diverse I can actually make my squeeze pages. So the first thing, of course, is establishing your squeeze page. Plain and simple. You have your standard rundown. You have them fill out the form, name, number, email address. Plain and simple. But the one thing that I noticed that a lot of people don't do is they do not include the ability for people who land on their pages to socially share their squeeze pages. And I mean, I know what you guys, I know you guys know what I mean when I say socially share, So by adding these social share buttons to your page, not only are you able to capture the people's information who's actually there and will more than likely sign up to your squeeze page, but you're allowing them to share and or like your page and introduce it to other people in their social realms and giving them another avenue to actually follow you, which in a sense is another form of building a list via your social networks, which is pretty cool. So at that point you possibly have two different opt-ins right there, one on your squeeze page and one on whichever social profile or page you actually send them to. So that right there is something that I would suggest that a lot of you start to add to your how you doing now? That a lot of you actually start to add to your squeeze pages. It's a great effective tool. And in all honesty, you know how social we are these days. I mean, sometimes it's easier for us to follow our social networks than it is our actual emails. So yeah, I think that's something that I would love to start seeing you guys do more often because it works great. Another thing that I notice is when people put up their squeeze pages, that's all they do is put them up, and they pretty much almost solely rely on if I build it, they will come, or they try and shop it around to their social realm as much as they can. There's nothing wrong with that, believe me. And it actually works. You will get you will get results, plain and simple. Especially depending on how big or how huge your reach is. But the one thing that I don't see them doing is implementing SEO. Now, SEO has been a major factor in my lists growing. And when I say a major factor, I mean to the point where I have a list now that I average about 5 to 7 signups a day. And I average 5 to 7 signups a day because, for one, it's a niche. For two, it's its position in the search engines. Sorry, awesome Harley just rolled by. But for two, it's its awesome position in the search engines. It's actually on the first page, in the first position in Google, under the main keyword that I really needed to operate under, that I really needed it to benefit from. And using that method, using SEO to make sure that my pages were seen, was one of the most awesome things I've ever done. And you know, in all honesty, I've been doing it for quite some time. But when I started off, I never expected those type of results, simply because I thought that it might have been complicated to go after the keyword and the keywords that I was actually pursuing, especially because of the business and the industry. You know, it's basically one of my lists to build my buyers. And it was a pretty competitive city. It's a pretty competitive city and keyword. But after about a month, I started to see it change. It went from the second page to the first page within a month. And then within 2 months, it went from, I believe, the 8th position to the 3rd position. And 3 weeks after that, I sat in the 1st position. Just totally awesome. I mean, totally awesome. So SEO is something, how you doing, sir? SEO is something that you really want to implement on your squeeze pages. And, you know, it just makes all the difference. It really does. So between allowing people to socially share your squeeze page and implementing SEO, your squeeze page would take off and it would do wonders. You would start to gain the attention and the visibility that you're looking for. You'll start to gain the strength of a list that you actually need to make this happen for you. And you know, like I said, I'm only coming to you guys and telling you this because it worked for me. And you know, once you push forward and you try and do certain things, you have to appreciate that people are trying and they're putting forth that effort to make all the difference. I know a lot of people don't know how to implement SEO. But the point is, if you don't know how, you know, there's Fiverr.com. You can find somebody on there who can simply optimize your page for a cool $5. You know, you may already know an SEO and, you know, they may do it for you. The point is, if you don't know how to do it, either learn how to do it right quick or just, you know, hire somebody else to do it. It makes all the difference, and it continues to perform for you. Once you get that organic placement, the sky's the limit, ladies and gentlemen, plain and simple. And once you place those social buttons on your squeeze page, so people can like and people can share, people can follow you straight from that squeeze page, dude, your squeeze page is going everywhere. Your squeeze page is getting the attention that it wants and needs. It's going to the places that you want it to end up in. It's getting in front of other people who are just as motivated, if not more motivated, than the people who actually signed up to the list. I mean, you know, birds of a feather flock together. So it just is what it is. So you want to go ahead and implement those two things straight off the bat. And, you know, I'll actually make a video a little later on about how you can amp up your squeeze page, and not just make it a one performance squeeze page, but actually make it a informative site, a resource site, and something that you can actually do to a third technique that you can actually do to capture leads as they come to your page. So for right now, this is Alexander Robinson, Alex the SEO, signing off, telling everybody to stay positive, progressive, prosperous, and profitable, and always, ladies and gentlemen, keep moving forward. Love and peace, y'all. I'm out.